Hello, everyone, and welcome to the post-show live chat, where we're going to be talking about everything that happened in the latest episode of The Bachelorette, which just aired on the East Coast and finished moments ago. Welcome. How's everyone doing tonight? What an episode of The Bachelorette. A lot to talk about. If you're coming at this stream somewhere after it's already aired or after it's already been streamed, we're going to be talking for an hour now, answering questions, just chatting about the show. It's really all it is. Casual. Seems to always be one or two people who comment saying, "What the heck is this?" If you're looking for the recap video and you're watching this after it's already been streamed, it's going to be coming out tomorrow. Preview breakdown the day after that. But welcome to the live stream, where we only have a few rules here. Number one, please, if you're in the chat talking, only post sleuthing spoilers only. All questions are welcome. I'm going to answer as many as I can. Sometimes the chat can go fast. I'll try to get to as many as I can. But if you super chat or become a member, I'll be sure to mention you, talk about that. Tyler Cook as well, thank you for becoming a member. I saw that just as the stream started. And last but not least, be kind to each other. That's all I ask. Be kind in the chat. Otherwise, there's a couple of things to get to tonight, apart from talking about everything that's happened in this episode. Couple of membership things, and there's also a giveaway. It was something I talked about in my face reveal. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do live on air the giveaway. I've got a random YouTube comment selector. It's going to, anyone who posted Mike Book giveaway in the comment section of that video before 10 o'clock tonight is going to be eligible for that. But wow, what an episode. What an episode of The Bachelorette. An amazing episode. Ending with Joe going home. Wow. Poor Joe. I mean, I don't know. I thought maybe he had one more episode in him. If he had survived this episode, I don't think he would have lasted any longer. No screen time, no chance. You can only ask for so much from the producers when they're giving someone no screen time, but I guess it was time to rip the Band-Aid and get over the pain of Joe leaving this episode. It's better in the end. But Ed staying around, was a surprise, but the producers always get a pick, I guess. I don't know. But if you're wondering about Ed, it's only a matter of time for him too. So Joe has got to be someone who is going to be represented in Paradise. And I saw an article or something that was posted today or recently that there are plans for Paradise. I mean, you have to imagine that of course there are plans for Paradise. If they have plans for The Bachelor and Bachelorette, they're planning for Paradise too. So expect Paradise to happen. It's going to happen. They're planning for it. We're going to get there. But with Paradise, also expect there might be a huge cast, including people from Listen to Your Heart and from Peter's season. So, the good comes with the bad. And thoughts, what do you think about Ed getting lost? Did the producers set him up, or was he just being an idiot? Probably a combination of both. Honestly, combination of both. That had producer hands all over it. That he's walking over to Chris Harrison. It might have been also as simple as Ed wanted to walk over to Chris Harrison's or to a producer's to ask permission to go see Tayshia while she's in her room. Is that against the rules? Am I allowed to do that? And And they say, yeah, sure, but go here. And then they have this whole thing. And, for all we know, Ed was sitting down with Chris Harrison with a glass of wine, hoping to ask if, he can go see Tayshia. And Chris Harrison just says, nope. So, but still, like, pretty funny. Tayshia's doing a great... Yeah, and Tayshia is doing... I'm here for the cutting of the BS. I'm here for that. I'm here for that whole date with Ivan. Because this is... I mean, how awesome... Like, we're here... We watch the show, obviously, for the fantasy. The fantasy is a big part of it. The exotic dates... The romance that comes out of a fairy tale where, it happens suddenly and people are falling in love before our eyes. But we're also here for the genuine, real life stuff. People talking about what's real in their life mixed with the fantasy is what makes this show great. So, all for that. Love real conversations. And... just this episode touched on so many things. Joe deserved better. Joe did deserve better. And next week we've got Zach's date, which was something that they teased in the previews when Clare was around. We're seeing some footage that they put in of Tayshia when Clare was still around. If Bennett gets sent home for Noah, I'm going to be so mad. Yes, we have a 2-on-1 next week. It's going to be Bennett and Noah. And we've got a whole other preview with Matt James as the Bachelor that came out this week too. There's so much to talk about. And Margaret, thank you for the super chat. Such a great episode. So excited to see Ivan's conversation make it to the final cut. Do you expect Bennett to cause this much drama? No, I did not expect Bennett to cause this much drama. Early on, he seemed kind of just innocent and, kind of there, kind of funny, non-threatening. Now, he's getting himself into way too much drama. Way too much drama. But I guess this is kind of inevitable on the show. If you're not a part of the main story, if you're not a part of the romances, it always seems like those that are left over either don't get any screen time at all or get screen time because they're causing drama. And I agree with you. Typically, or I guess we wouldn't know because it would never make it to the final cut, but a conversation like that wouldn't be shown on the show. And so it was, which was amazing. Where was Carlos? Carlos, nowhere to be found. Carlos, yeah, Ed, what are you doing with Carlos? Where's Carlos? Did you just abandon him? So, totally agree with you. Ed's not making it next week. I doubt it. Look, at the end of the day, you have to look at who's still there. And really, there are only 4 men who are strong contenders consistently with Tayshia. When it comes to these preview breakdowns and everything that I do, at the end of the day, it's primarily about the numbers. Seeing who's a viable option, who's getting a good edit, and who's showing up in the previews, and taking away everyone else. And at the end of the day, there are really only 4 men who strongly show up in the previews, show up in the edits, and look like spouse material for Tayshia. And that's Zach, Brendan, Ben, and Ivan. Everyone else, maybe it's a long shot, but it's hard to think. Noah, way too much in the drama. Spencer, where's he been after getting the first impression rose? Nowhere. There's no footage of him in the previews that we haven't seen already. Any of the other guys, no screen time or caught up in drama or left this episode. It's really only those 4. So Ed is going to go at some point. Probably sooner rather than later. So Damar? Yeah, Damar, sure, he's going to last maybe another episode, but no, he's not in any of the previews. Other than on, little in little shots where he's on a group date or in, a rose ceremony or at the cocktail party before the rose ceremony. He's been on no one-on-one footage. Ivan has. Ivan's been in one-on-one footage. Zach has been in one-on-one footage. Brendan's been in one-on-one footage. Brendan, this episode, he got the Zach treatment from the episode before. So, in the last episode, Zach was not a part of the main storyline in any way at all. He was not a part of the group date. He was not a part of any of the drama. He was not a part of any of the romances that were going on. And Zach still got a little section where he had a full romance thing with Tayshia. That happened to Brendan this episode. Brendan in this episode, not really a part of the group date footage or anything like that. Not really a part of any of the drama. Not really a part of anything important that happened to the storyline of this episode. And yet he still got a little moment, more than a small moment, because they'll show small moments with everyone here and there, but he got an extended little moment where he and Tayshia were catching up on their relationship, had a little kiss, a little check-in. It's something that they do, not just in The Bachelorette, in other shows too, where they check in on certain important people, even though they're not important to the storyline of that episode. So they're not doing that with many of the other guys. Zach and Ben and Ivan were all important parts of the storyline of this episode. So that's different. But Brendan was not. And Latrice, thank you so much for the super chat. Really appreciate it. The conversation between Tayshia and Ivan was so great. I hope the same conversations happen during Matt's season. Yeah. And this is what happens when you have more representation on the show. Is you start to have these conversations. These are real experiences that these people have had. This is something we're getting to see on the show. And at the end of the day, that's all I want. I want to see real people, real conversations mixed in with the fantasy. Because, of course, we're also here for the fantasy of Bachelor world. We're also here for, the exotic dates and the crazy romance and the drama. We're here for the drama. But when this show breaks through and you see something real, that's wonderful. And Ruby, thank you for the super chat. What is your opinion of Noah? Noah is now becoming a goner. His stock has lowered, and I don't know. When it comes to the the whole jumping over the fence thing and that whole date, I think he's done nothing wrong. But he stirred the pot a little bit, and now he's going to get caught in that drama, and he's pulling away from someone who could have potentially been a serious contender. I had him in my top 6, and now that's even in jeopardy. So I think he's blowing this up for himself. He's right to to think nothing should, like, he's like, no one should be blaming him for being on that group date where he got the rose. And at the end of the day, he was invited to be on that group date, and he got the rose, and the other men who were on that date should be looking at themselves and not him as to why that happened. But he's blowing it. And Sarah, thank you for the super chat. How do you think that they will handle hometowns? That's a good question. I've heard, and this is totally unconfirmed. I have no idea where I heard this. So I feel like I read an article or something that said there might be families there. I know, obviously, Tayshia's dad is there, and Tayshia's dad shows up, so there's at least that. I originally thought that there wasn't going to be any kind of hometown, and that it would be Zoom, but I think they're not going to leave the bubble, though. Who went home? It was Kenny, Jordan, who else? Oh my gosh. Kenny, Jordan, Chasen. Oh yeah, Chasen got no screen time at all this episode. And finally Joe. Poor Joe. Zoomtowns. Zoomtowns would be great. Yeah, Kenny gone. Wolverine gone. Jordan gone. Joe gone, unfortunately. But it was just a matter of time for Joe. It was just a matter of time. No surprises. So, I feel like, though, with the amount of momentum that's coming Joe's way from Bachelor Nation viewers, this man will be in paradise. It's not going to be the last time we see Joe. I'd be surprised. Be very surprised. But, it's going to be a long time till paradise. So, if you're rooting for Joe, keep his name out there. Do you think Ivan's chances have changed after the one-on-one? Yeah, maybe. I think so. The thing is, I've been talking a lot about the final four, the solid four, and I really do think these are a solid four. It's just, like, who do you replace these four with? Honestly, sit down, look at the entire cast, and think, who do I replace of these four with someone else? Right? Like, maybe Spencer comes in if he has a really good edit out of nowhere, but at this moment in time, of those four guys, who do you think? And look at the previews too. Zach, Ben, Ivan, and Brendan. So, when it comes to that four, though, it's a little trickier. I feel like it's easy to get to that four, but harder to break from that four once it gets to the final three and the final two. To me, what the edit is showing right now is Brendan and Zach still. I don't think there's much changed on that front. Yeah, Spencer is fading out. Unless he has like a miraculous edit in the next episode or two, which, by the way, I don't know. I don't think it's going to happen because, like, next episode we're getting Zach's one-on-one. Those four don't change. Zach and Brendan are getting the little check-in edits, and they've got footage in the preview. Like, they've got all that momentum going for them. Ben has changed my opinion in the last couple of episodes. It's a bit rougher for Ben. So maybe Ben goes home, number 4, or number 3. And Ivan could go to Fantasy Suite. But at the end of the day, I think the movement that has happened based on the last 2 episodes in the previews is more Ben and Ivan being 3 or 4. And Zach and Brennan are still 1 and 2. Ben is getting a Bachelor edit. Yeah, he does have that sort of you don't think he's going to win, but maybe I could see the Bachelorette it. Even though, obviously, Matt James is going to be the Bachelor. Do you think both Noah and Bennett could go home? Very possible. Very possible. They're both going home at some point. That's for sure. And Stephanie, thank you so much for the super chat. Great episode. Not gonna lie, I was suspicious of Tayshia giving drama roses for Spencer than Noah. She could just like boldness though. Yeah, I get that. I get what you're saying. I don't think at that point though she knows about the drama. I guess you're saying like, producer driven roses. I don't think like what has Spencer done? Spencer's not been a part of the drama. He was only getting drama thrown on him. And Noah was the same at first. Because both of those men were guys who were brought into the show later. So naturally the other men not going to be fans. But now Noah's kind of changed that. Now Noah's kind of joining in on the drama. And Spencer could easily be one of those guys who, after another episode, he's not getting the kind of attention he thought he might. And then that happens to him too. He starts joining in on the drama. Because at the end of the day, if either of those guys were going to win this thing, hypothetically, the Bachelor producers wouldn't be throwing them under the bus like they have in the edits of the previews that we've gotten, which is for both of those men and on the shows too now. Both of those men have been getting drama edits, kind of villain edits. So yeah, I think Ben might be the runner-up, and they're setting him up for Paradise for sure. We're gonna see runner-up probably in Paradise now because of I would think so, because of the fact that the runner-up or the top 3 or the top 4 guys are not going to be considered for Bachelor, because obviously Matt James is the Bachelor. So those guys would seem like locks for Paradise, plus a few select men. It all depends on how many they're going to be bringing in, and there's a lot of options. They've got women from Peter's season, men from Tayshia and Clare's season. They've got women from Matt's season and men from whatever season they're going to be doing afterwards. Whoever the Bachelorette is from Matt's season. And I believe last time they did Paradise, they had the most cast members ever. So they might do a huge Paradise there, and there could be a lot of demand for extra content. So we might be seeing a huge Paradise. But again, to reiterate what I said before, Bachelor in Paradise, saw an article today saying the talks it's a go. They're starting the planning and everything for that. So Australian Bachelor in Paradise is now officially canceled. I mean, I'm not surprised. But, the reality is they are moving ahead with a Bachelor season and almost certainly a Bachelorette season. They're going to be doing this. That's I would be shocked, or it would take, something, I think, forceful for them to not do a season, I think, at this point. I think they've decided they are going to do it, and they'll do it in a bubble if they need to. So they announced Australia Bachelor in Paradise isn't ever coming back? Is that true? Dang. I hope not. I liked the Australian Bachelor in Paradise. I thought it was a pretty good representation, pretty good crossover to a different nation. Can we talk about Zach, please and thanks? Yeah, he's still my front runner. He got a rose tonight. He's getting the good edit. He's getting a 1-on-1 next week. He's in a primo spot right now. So I think he's that's all we got to talk about. He's in a great position. And there are just way too many guys who are going to get eliminated. Way too men who are non-factors. Not even having a chance to make it to the top 4. So, anyone noticed you since your face reveal? Not really, because I'm trying to stay inside as much as possible. And when I go out, I'm wearing a mask. So it's like grocery store and stuff like that. And also, I don't think it would happen even if I did. So where in Canada are you from? I am from Ontario. So also, like, one thing I wanted to talk about, for anyone who's a member, I'm going to be doing a little, like, members only blast tomorrow or in the next day or two. We're going to set up something. I want to do a little thank you for people who have become members and just supported the channel and the stream. And so I'm going to, the thing that was voted top option for a thing to do with members was to play Among Us together, just casually. So I'm going to buy Among Us, and I think it's like a few bucks. It's really cheap. And going to be playing with members. So I'm going to send a message to members tomorrow or the day after. Setting that up so we can pick a day. It's going to happen. I want to do it before the end of the month and do something monthly. So it's free on your phone. All right. Perfect. Then we're gonna do something. We're gonna do something together. So Ruby, thank you for becoming a member. Welcome. And I'll figure something to do every month as just a thank you and appreciation for the support. Noah Sus. Yeah, and so we got a glimpse of the wedding dress clip. And the Ferris wheel. The Ferris wheel clip, too. Both the secret Tayshia footage that was in Claire's preview. So that's going to be happening. And I guess both were Zach. So it's gonna be hopefully another action-packed episode next episode. So another thing I wanted to talk about, also I was thinking of, was like I wanted to do another subscriber goal as well, something like at 100. I don't know, like what would be the next mark, like 150K or something like that. I don't know. I'm thinking about that. Leave your suggestions. I don't know what to do quite yet, but I want to do another goal. Something just to, I don't know, if we reach that point. How do I become a member? There's a little thing either at the bottom of the video. I'm not sure exactly where it might be for mobile. It might be harder for mobile, where you can click join. It's just a couple of bucks just to show your appreciation and support for the channel. If you want to do that, there's no pressure. Like Ligia, I'm sorry if I mispronounced your name. Probably did, but I really appreciate it. Thank you for becoming a member. There should be a button somewhere there, or there's a link in the description that says membership. So. And Sarah, thank you so much for the super chat. Does Bennett remind you of Taylor and how she talks so much about emotional intelligence? Can we ship them? Yeah, I thought the exact same thing. Taylor, former contestant on Nick Viall's season of The Bachelor. She also talked about emotional intelligence. Bennett in this preview talks about emotional intelligence. I thought the exact same thing. Can we ship them? I don't know. I think Bennett's sights are set on Bachelor in Paradise at this moment. So maybe if she shows up in Paradise. And Rachel, thank you for becoming a member. Welcome. Really appreciate it. Thank you for becoming a member. But yeah, no, there's a lot of I missed Joe already. I know. But go check out Joe on his Instagram. He's been posting a lot of things. I think he posted at one point, and it might not be available anymore, but it is available on an article or something like that. He posted his roasting comments, which are awesome. He's been posting a lot of good content. So I'm sure there's still more Joe to come if you follow him. So the Joe show is not over. But yeah, what an episode. I'm excited to start to do the recap. But we'll see which one of these men which one of these men that are going is going to end up in Paradise. So, all right, at this point, I'm going to transition. We're going to be talking about the book giveaway that I did before things get too late in the stream. Just for a little while, I'm going to do that now. So I've got a little thing here, and it's set up. It's a little off kilter. I don't know why it's doing that. What's going on here? There we go. That's better. That's better. It's completely random. If you, before now, had posted Mike book giveaway. Oh, we're doing ads here. For the face reveal, this here is going to be randomly selecting someone from the channel. And I'm going to do it live so that there's no guessing on anything that's happened right here. You're going to see it live. It's recorded. So I'm going to do it 4 times. I have an extra book. An extra book came in. 4 times we're going to be doing this. And I'm going to be contacting someone through YouTube to get their info so I can send them the book. And I'll sign it too. So Right here, right now. We're going to do it. We're going to do number 1. All right? Boom. All right, come on. All right, it screwed up. I'm going to reset it. All right. Now we're going. Here we go. Haley Marie. Number 1. You just got a book. One of Mike Johnson's books. It's going to be signed by me too. Thank you for watching the video and being a part of this. It's number 1. Let's pick another winner. Number 2. Alex J. Congrats. I'm adding you to the list. You're number 2 of 4. All right. Number 3. Alex Buchanan. There you go. Or Buchan. I don't know why I just assumed Buchanan was the last name. Congrats. You're number 3. Take a note of that. And last but not least, the extra book, Alicia Recchi. Sorry if I pronounced that wrong. Congrats. There you go. These are the 3 that have, or the 4 that have one of the 4 books that I got. If any of these 4, I'm gonna be reaching out to them on the channel. If they don't respond within a week, I'm gonna be redrawing another name. So they have 1 week to respond. And then I'll be contacting them to get their information and sending them the book, and I'm going to sign it myself. So it's been so awesome. It's been totally amazing doing the face reveal and all the wonderful comments and everything that people have been posting. And getting back into a season after such a long off season. Will you review Matt's second promo? Absolutely, I will. What I've been thinking about doing, because they dropped that promo and it was a 2-parter where they showed Matt James' promo and Tayshia's promo. And I'm thinking of, for the preview breakdown for not tomorrow but the day after, for doing a double preview breakdown or something. I'm not entirely sure. But I'll be doing Tayshia's stuff all in one. So next week's preview and the season preview, and then a Matt James preview on Friday again. So will Bachelor be back on Mondays when Matt's season starts? Yes, it is going to be back on January 4th. It's coming back. So we've got like all through December straight, and then a little break for Christmas. And it's going to be starting back up again. Do you think production told Tayshia to keep Ed? Maybe. I'm wondering, though, if it's not exactly as, like, hey, keep Ed, and then she goes, okay. I think it maybe is more, kind of suggested in some ways. So, have you read Mike's book yet? I've not finished Mike's book yet. Not finished. Why do you think Mike wasn't chosen as the Bachelor? a lot of reasons. But I think maybe they were afraid of choosing him at that point, and then they got a lot of pressure to choose him, or to choose Matt this year, but they were maybe afraid to. I don't know, because he was, a better choice in my opinion than Peter, and we saw Peter's season, so you'd have to ask the Bachelor producers for the real answer on that. So, do you think Matt would have made it far with Tayshia? Or better question, would he have made it far with Clare? I think Matt would have made it far no matter what. And my conspiracy is that unless he completely screwed up in a major way, I think production wanted him to go far. And so they would have made sure that he got far. Because, one, they were obviously vetting him for The Bachelor before the season even started. They wouldn't have made him Bachelor if there wasn't some sort of vetting going on. Even if they did feel pressure to make him the Bachelor. And two, he had the whole Tyler Cameron thing going on as well. The friendship with Tyler, the following. So this was someone that they were interested in having go far. So I think they would have made it happen. He would have really had to screw it up. If he had complete and total lack of chemistry with Tayshia or Clare, maybe he might not have made it to hometowns. He would have made it to Final Six or something like that. That would have been a big push, unless he did something really, really stupid. And Clare didn't want him. She called him out publicly, and then, was there was clap back from that, because didn't she say something like, "Why are you on Cameo already?" And then he was doing something on Cameo for charity. And then so people were like, "Are you talking about Matt?" And then she said, "No, I'm talking about other guys." After that came out. So yeah, maybe it wouldn't have worked out with Clare. Dale was obviously her guy before the season started anyways. But do you think Clare and Dale will last? I'm kind of at this point of the mentality, I'm kind of beyond Clare and Dale, to be honest. I know there's little tabloid things coming out and all that. I'm sort of just past it. I wish them the best. I hope they're happy. I hope everything works out for them, and I'm focused on Tayshia's season. So, yeah, people are asking Cameo. Yeah, Matt was on Cameo, but he was doing a Cameo's a thing where you can, celebrities or personalities or popular people can go on, and you can pay them to give you a shout out or something like that. Chris Harrison's on there for $500 or $600 or something like that. He can give you a shout out for someone's birthday or something like that. They do it on their phone, and Matt was doing it for charity. But Clare saw it, or maybe there was someone else, I don't know, and said, "Why are you already on Cameo before the season has started?" So that's what that whole business was about. What are your thoughts on Ben's previous connection with Clare that was edited out? Are you talking about the shot that we in the preview breakdown talked about, where Ben was kissing Claire and they cut it out of night 1. I still think the reason they did that was because he goes far with Tayshia. But that doesn't necessarily mean he wins with Tayshia or he wins the final rose or anything like that. It could mean top 4, but he's a serious romance with Tayshia. So they cut it for a reason. There's no reason when you have... So we know that there were, because Claire said this, 3 kisses on night 1. Blake, Dale, and now we know Ben from the preview, because they showed us in the preview, but it didn't make it to air night 1. Why would you cut that from the show? When they're showing, 3 extra scenes of Zach J with a fart ring, and they're cutting out a whole scene where Ben kisses Claire, there's a reason. Totally a reason. Do you think Tayshia is engaged right now? I hope so. I mean, look. It's always a kind of weird question, should people get engaged at the end? It's kind of strange that we all hope for this when it's so quick. And yet when it happens, you kind of are like in love with it. If it's the right 2 people, that is. But I'm hoping for a happy ending for the season. I'll say that. I'm hoping for a happy ending. We haven't really had a happy ending. Sure, Clare and Dale. That's great. I'm moving past Clare and Dale. We haven't had a happy ending for a while. A final rose happy ending. So I'm hoping for that. That's my hope. How many more episodes do we have? Well, this is episode 7. There's usually 13 or so. They do a double finale. So they're not going to go through Christmas. They're not going to have an episode on Christmas, but Christmas the week of Christmas, the 22nd is a Tuesday. So they could have an episode right up to Tuesday if they wanted to do that. We've got the 1st for week 8, 8 for the week 9, 15th for the 10th, and then do 11th and 12th on the 22nd. Maybe do Monday as well, if there's no football then. So it's usually 12 or 13 episodes or so, with the 12th and 13th, or the 11th or 12th, whatever they want to do, episode being in the same week, where they do a part 1 and part 2 of the finale. So we're going to be going right up to Christmas, unless they find a way to speed this up, do double episodes or something. There will be 2 episodes on December 14th, 15th, and December 21 and 22nd. There you go. Unless this person's just speculating, but I believe that. Oh, there has been a release of the episode schedule. They're adding extra episodes, yeah. So they have to fit it, because they can't do an episode, no one's going to watch anything over Christmas. People are, doing stuff. Celebrating Christmas, so. Would you rather play Twister with Tayshia or let Chris Harrison sign your butt? Oh, Chris Harrison signing my butt every time. What a joy that would be. So we're going to be going right up to Christmas. And then there's a short break, like a 1 week to 2 week break. And then it's Bachelor all over again. So have you seen The Floor is Lava on Netflix? I actually have seen that. It's this crazy game show where you have to cross over a lava field. I actually had seen that the other day. I haven't watched much of it, but I saw the thing on Netflix for that. So, all right, we are going to be coming to the last little bit of the live stream here, the last 5-10 minutes. So, just your warning now. Fantake's got to get up. I got to get up. Start video editing. There's a lot of stuff going on this week. Not just the usual recap and preview breakdown. We've got an extra long additional preview breakdown to talk about. So I would love to see Ruby from Listen to Your Heart in Paradise. Absolutely. Absolutely. She was one of the few. What is the other game? Sheridan. Sheridan seemed like a very popular guy from Listen to Your Heart. What about the JPJ shade? I know, how dare they? How dare they put in some JPJ shade? But it's all in good fun. Matt, now it would be interesting if they brought in both Matt and Rudy. Oh, maybe. Were you also talking about Ruby? Because there was a Ruby on Listen to Your Heart, but she was there for like 2 episodes. And then there's Rudy, who made it almost to the end and was arguably the best singer. But if I could see a situation where they put both Matt and Rudy in Paradise. Because the whole thing about them was the will they, won't they, and then after the season ended, they had a continued will they, won't they thing, and that is still continuing the last time I heard about it. So that could be some drama. But Sheridan was also a popular choice. But there's going to be a lot of competition for Paradise spots this year. Are you going to do the women breakdown the week before Matt's first episode airs? If Chris Harrison does a live stream, I'm going to do a recap of it or a breakdown of it. And I'm guessing it's going to be a much more traditional meet the women or meet the cast kind of live stream. And my video is going to be a little more traditional because, I mean, obviously with this season, you couldn't talk about early predictions for what the men's chances were because it was all Dale. You know? It was Dale and the rest had no chance. So I'm expecting a more typical video for that. But as long as Chris Harrison does a stream, I'll do a reaction to it, a commentary on it. Will there ever be a Listen to Your Heart season 2? I'm thinking no. I'm also thinking no. That being said, I didn't think there was going to be a sequel to Bachelor Winter Games, but they had planned to do a Bachelor Summer Games, so there you go. There's always going to be a demand for more Bachelor content, I think. At least at this moment in time. It's just such an easy formula for ABC to throw in there if they've got nothing else, like they did with Listen to Your Heart and they were planning to do with Summer Games. Do you think they might do a Summer Games in 2021? I think they will do a Summer Games whenever the actual Olympic Summer Games happen. So if the Olympics continue like they had originally said when they canceled it in 2021, which is still a long shot at this point, then they'll maybe scramble something together. But it might have to be 2022. How about Matt getting way better dates than Tayshia? Oh, yeah. Well, I think part of that is just they had way more time to plan. I mean, Tayshia's season and Clare's season was thrown together in the midst of everything going down and not knowing really what to do or how to do it. And I'm guessing with Matt, they had way more time to find a different place and much more to do. So, do you think that when contestants get eliminated, they left the bubble, or do you think they all stayed at La Quinta and left once the season was over? I'm thinking they got them out there right away. I don't know the answer to that question, but what I've heard suggests that they didn't stay. I don't think. I think they were gone. They were out of there. One less thing to take care of for everybody. Because I've heard that they didn't stay and film the tell-all or anything at La Quinta. From what I've heard. So my guess is they just, as soon as they were gone, it was get out of the bubble, get home, bye. I want that La Quinta spread of food. Yeah, that gigantic ice cream. I hope the crew got that ice cream or something afterwards. Otherwise, what a waste. So that's going to be it for this live stream. Thank you all for joining me, for being a part of it. And what an episode of The Bachelorette. Really great episode. Excited to recap it, talk about it tomorrow. Be on the lookout for that. And of course, we've got a preview breakdown after that, and another preview breakdown for Matt James' season. A longer one. They're throwing it out. They're not wasting any time at all. So a lot to talk about in the week to come. Thank you all for joining. Really appreciate it. Congrats to everyone who was a winner in the giveaway. If you're a member, be on the lookout. I'm going to send out a message almost certainly tomorrow. I've got a little note here. Hopefully in the midst of editing, I remember to do that. But we're going to set up something as an appreciation. We're going to play a little Among Us. And, if that goes well, we'll continue to do that. Or we'll do something different in the months to come. But I want to do something every month to show appreciation to all the members. And sorry I couldn't support you, Chris. Don't worry. No, please. Please, I want to make it super, super clear. If you watch my videos, that's all you need to do. Like, I appreciate everyone who comes in, listens to the live stream, who watches the videos, and honestly, that's all that's means so much to me. This membership thing is just a little bonus for people. Don't worry about not being able to support. Please don't worry. Your viewership is all I need. So thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful night. I'll see you all tomorrow in the recap video. And until next time, Bachelor Fan Take out.